Hey, I'm Mike Baccarell, and today we're going to take a look at two signature lines from Grant Green, as well as take a look at how he used arpeggio shapes to create his lines. Let's take a look. Before we get started, if you enjoy the video, please give it a like. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you like this sort of content, if you like jazz guitar lessons, I release new jazz guitar lessons every single week. So please consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you can stay up to date on my new videos. And if you're interested in supporting me further, please check out my Patreon where I post PDFs for every single one of my lesson videos, as well as weekly jazz solo transcriptions. So let's get started. This first line is a 2-5-1 in the key of A flat major, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major 7. For the B flat minor 7 portion of the line, he starts on the 5th, which is an F, and walks down chromatically to the 4th. And he starts on the and of 1. So 1 and 2 and. And then he goes to the flat 3rd, which is D flat, go to the root, B flat, and the flat 7, which is A flat. And that starts on the and of 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we can see that even though this line doesn't cover a ton of ground, he's playing out of this arpeggio shape. We start on the 5th, and then we just play these 3 notes straight out of the arpeggio, right from that shape. Now the coolest thing about this part of the line is this rhythmic idea. 1 and 2 and 4 and. That's something that Grant Green uses all the time. Over the E flat 7 chord, he starts on G, which is the 3rd, goes to the 5th, which is B flat, flat 7, D flat, root, so he's playing right out the arpeggio, and then he goes to the flat 9, sharp 9, root again, and the flat 7. And he's playing right out of this arpeggio shape. And we can see how his note choice is directly derived from this arpeggio shape, and he just adds a couple notes on top of it. And then from there he lands on C, which takes us right to our A flat major 7. And he goes C, which is the 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th, E flat, F, G, and he jumps up to the 9th, which is B flat, and he walks down the scale, down to the 5th, and then he skips down to the 3rd. So the A flat major 7 portion is, and he's playing out of this kind of arpeggio shape. This is something that Grant and Wes Montgomery use a lot. It's this particular shape, which is just an A flat major 7, but then they skip the root and jump up to the 9th. That's a line that Wes and Grant use all the time right there, and it's directly derived just from playing up and down this shape. So here's the full line. The second line is a 2-5 in the key of F minor. So we start G minor 7 flat 5, C7 to F minor 7. And we start on beat 2 with the most signature Grant Green thing ever, where he goes from the root of the minor 7 flat 5 and chromatically slurs up to the flat 3rd. So he starts on G, A flat, A, he slides to B flat. And the rhythm is a triplet. So it's 1, 2 triplet, 3. And then from there, from the B flat, he plays C, D flat, and C. And that's our G minor 7 flat 5 portion of the line. 1. And even though he's playing just on these top 2 strings, he's playing out of this arpeggio shape. Mainly right here. Our root, flat 3rd, and flat 5. Now over the C7, he plays a B flat and walks chromatically down to G. And plays F, E flat, E, C. He closes the 3rd of the C7. And we can see that he's playing right out of this shape. Now for the F minor 7, we go up to G, E natural, F, and then we just walk up the F minor scale. G, A flat, B flat, and we stop on C. Now we start with an enclosure. This is something that Grant Green uses all the time, especially over a minor chord. And again, even though we're playing just the top 3 strings, he's playing out of this arpeggio shape. Now here's the full line. 1. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these 2 Grant Green lines, and I hope you do spend some time thinking of the arpeggio shape and visualizing what Grant was seeing with this. These lines don't just come out of thin air. They come from these arpeggio shapes, and he's filling in, the gaps with scale tones and chromatics. And if you take the time to kind of relate the line to the arpeggio, it makes it a lot easier to recall some of these things or move positions. So thanks for checking out today's lesson. Keep practicing. I'll see you next time.